Flips in NASCAR are pretty uncommon, but it's even more uncommon to have multiple flips in a single race. Today, we're going to look at 6 more races that had multiple flips. The 1995 Humminbird Fishfinder 500K at Talladega started out with a bang. On lap 9, Johnny Benson tagged Ward Burton. As soon as Ward was turned around, the back of his car started to lift up. Ward flipped onto his roof as the field behind him scattered to avoid him.
He got a tap. Ward got hit by Johnny Benson, I think it is. And that's
the flat part of the racetrack. When he made to come back up on the racetrack, it flipped right up. The nice part of this, the car stayed on the roof. It did not start tumbling.
Right. And everybody scatters.
Rodney Combs got in it there. You see the 43.
After 6 more cautions, Randy LaJoie highlighted the biggest crash of the day.
Benson on the bottom, Fuller and Rick Wilson. Fuller! Oh no!
Oh no!
And tumbling goes Randy LaJoie over the hood of the 92 Larry Pearson.
There goes the page.
Back to the line.
In the midst of the crash, Terry Labonte was turned at just the right angle to be used as a ramp to send LaJoie flipping. This race was before LaJoie had really made it in the Xfinity series, as this was only his first race of the season. He actually entered the race in the number 64 car, wrecked out in Ward Burton's crash, and filled in for the number 6 of Tommy Houston, then flipped that car. Just a couple of years prior, the Cup Series had a race at Talladega with 2 flips in the 1993 DieHard 500. On lap 69, Jimmy Horton suffered one of the scariest crashes in NASCAR's modern era. After contact with another car, Stanley Smith shot to the inside of the track and smashed into the right side of Horton's car. Horton was turned into the front of the pack, flipping. As he went up the track, a pile of cars pushed him over the wall. The announcers were shocked to see Jimmy out of the car within minutes. On the other hand, Stanley Smith suffered career-ending injuries.
We got a major crash through the tri-oval. Car on fire coming to the line right here in front of us. It's Ted Musgrave's car, front and rear. And Bonnet's car is also involved in the incident. There are 4 or 5 cars that have crashed here in the tri-oval. There is Neil Bonnet's.
Neil Bonnet was hit by Ted Musgrave right as he was spinning. Bonnet did a complete flip and then flew into the catch fence. They actually showed an in-car camera of Neil's crash, which showed how hard his hit to the fence really was. Shifting gears to Daytona, let's take a look at a dual race that had 2 flips. During a pit stop cycle, John Anderson lost it all by himself and flipped almost 5 times.
Oh, we have trouble in turn number 2. Johnny Anderson, flipping the 3rd place car, has crashed on turn number 2. Anderson's car totally destroyed. You could see his arm out of the car as the car was rolling side over side.
Anderson was about to race in his 2nd straight Daytona 500 after posting the 13th quickest time in qualifying and locking himself into the race on speed. Unfortunately, the wreck destroyed his car and forced his team to withdraw. With just 2 laps to go, Connie Saylor was another victim of the exit of turn 2. However, in this instance, Connie had help.
Trouble in the back straightaway, car upside down, sliding way down the back straightaway. One machine getting upside down and sliding. Connie Saylor in car number 4 has gone upside down. The Johnson City, Tennessee campaigner in an Oldsmobile has slid almost 2,000 feet after getting in trouble in turn number 2.
The car started to fly and landed on its roof and slid down most of the backstretch. Connie unfortunately needed to race his way into the field, but didn't make it due to the crash. Todd Bodine checked up a little bit, and Rick Crawford was looking to make a move for 2nd place. Todd made slight contact with the truck on his outside and bounced back down to Crawford. That was enough to ship Crawford towards the inside of the wall. Rick flipped onto his roof and back onto all 4s in a blink of an eye.
He's racing in the 4th position. He looks to the inside of Todd Bodine. Todd comes down the hill, forces him to the inside. The air gets underneath the truck, turns it over. 1 revolution, and then back on 4 wheels.
Chad Chaffin was in 3rd place whenever Dennis Setzer bumped him just a little too hard.
Oh, problems early on. Chad Chaffin gets spun around and upside down. Chaffin back onto his wheels. And we were on board with Dennis Setzer.
Dennis made some contact. Looks like he was trying to bump draft him, and he got Chad turned around. There's Terry Cook after such a great effort. He was involved in that action.
Chaffin blew over and did a complete flip in the air. Similarly to Crawford, Chaffin landed about as peacefully on all fours as you could hope in a flip. After Chaffin's successful 2-win season in 2004 with Bobby Hamilton Racing, he was picked up by Germain Racing to race the 2005 season. After a disappointing first 10 races, Chaffin was replaced by Todd Bodine, who went on to win 5 of the last 15 races of the season. Later in the 2005 season at Talladega in the Cup Series, the UAW-Ford 500 produced an equally crazy race.
Cosmetic damage at the crash. Trouble in turn 1. Oh, car on its roof. Michael Waltrip. Mark Martin is in it. One of the championship contenders.
Elliott Sadler, the pole in a 38. Heavy damage.
The crash started with Elliott Sadler being turned by Jimmy Johnson in front of most of the field. In the melee, Mark Martin went down the track and took out Michael Waltrip, who was immediately sent flipping across the track. Waltrip flipped twice en route to the outside wall. Less than 50 laps later, contact with Ryan Newman and Casey Mears sparked another wild crash. Scott Riggs shot across the entire track and hit hard into the outside wall just in front of the start-finish line. Riggs slid on his roof for several hundred feet before rolling uncontrollably once he transitioned off the banking.
Such tight quarters that it's just being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Scott waving to the crowd. Attaboy, Scotty. From Bahama, North Carolina.
With 15 laps to go, the entire outside lane stacked up and Ryan Newman was pushed into the back of Tony Stewart. Marcos Ambrose, Kevin Harvick, and Elliott Sadler were all swept down the track with Newman as he started to get airborne. Newman landed on Harvick's hood, slid for an eternity, hit the outside wall, and came back down the track to flip once again.
Comes rolling down on its roof onto the grass and comes over again another 360 before coming to rest on its top.
After a wild restart, it was clear there was going to be another wreck. Kurt Busch was turned and started another big wreck.
Oh, here goes Kurt Busch around.
Oh, crash behind you. Crash.
Oh, Mark's upside down.
Mark Martin is over on his roof,
back on his wheel.
into the wall.
Martin Truex Jr. was one of the many drivers sliding across the track, and he collected Juan Pablo Montoya. Together, they hit Mark Martin's car and turned him over. Martin did a complete flip and hit the outside wall before coming to rest.
Kind of a stack up that caused it.
And Mark Martin went completely over on his roof, back over on the wheels, came and hit the outside wall.
Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.